Nancy will get your nameplates here in just a minute, gentlemen. All right. These are our candidates for county auditor. We'll start out with our first question. What are the most important responsibilities of the auditor? And Randall, we'll start with you.
Well, there's several, but the chief one is that the auditor is the chief financial officer of the county. You're looking at different budgets that have been appropriated for the different offices, making sure that the office holders are staying within those budgets. You're also dealing with the public as far as taking and working with them as far as their filing their real estate exemptions. And there's just a number of things. You're doing payroll for the county. You're seeing about the daily operations, of course, of that staff that you have there in the office. And it's important that you keep up with them and you have them assigned to do the different roles. You're also working closely with as you are the secretary for the commissioners.
Thank you. All right. Claude, what's the most important responsibilities of the auditor?
Well, I'd say that the most important, the auditor's a vast job. And probably, obviously it's the communicator, so nothing gets advertised without the auditor advertising. No budget gets set unless the auditor gets all that paperwork for the council to review. No payroll gets done unless the auditor does the payroll. Nobody gets their property tax unless the auditor gets that from the assessor and figures the rate. And so nothing gets done there. Vast job, a lot of things to do there, but those are probably some of the more important things that the auditor, as well as the communications between the council and the commissioners and the public, comes through the auditors keeping the records for both, the minutes for both, and the advertisement and the agendas.
David, what are the most important responsibilities?
Well, I'll agree with the things that these guys said about the duties. The auditor's the chief accountant for the county. He files financial statements each month, files a financial statement with the county that has to be reconciled with the treasurer's financial statement at the end of the year. A financial statement has to be filed with the State Board of Accounts. The auditor keeps public documents, and if any money is to be dispersed, the auditor issues a warrant, which those have to be countersigned with the county treasurer, so that there's a check, so just one person can't issue money from the county and receives the accountant takes money that is received to make sure it goes into the right accounts.
All right, gentlemen, why do you want this position? Claude?
Well, it's an important position, number one. Number two, I believe that checks and balances are important in government, and so there's a little division in parties there, so I believe we ought to have little checks and balances going on. That's number two, and I'm very well prepared for the job, and the job is very important to the public, and I'm a public person. I think it's very important that people feel comfortable coming in that auditor's office, and when they leave there, they've got the right answers and they've got the help that they need. So and again, I've been a public servant for a lot of years, and I think I'm a good public servant because I care about the public and I serve the public.
David, why do you want this position?
Well, I I think what we have here in Washington County is government of, by, and for the contractors. If we look at things that happens, that we had the insurance fiasco with the self-insurance that went up to $15,000 per employee, and now it's cut down. They gave $5,000 to each employee. This whole fiasco came from an unwillingness to have competitive bidding. They had a favored contractor. Now they finally decided to accept competitive bidding, and they're going to have the insurance is going to be about half. And that's the way things goes. The courthouse, they fixed the roof, they fixed the building. The contractors have money. It still leaks. The jail holds more than twice as many prisoners as what we have, because it's the most money the county can spend without turning it over to the voters.
Okay. Randall, why do you want this position?
Well, the main reason I'd like to have the position is I am a county councilman, have been for several years now. Worked with the budgets, with the being a councilman, so hand in hand with the auditor's office over this. I have no problem as far as staffing and that sort of thing. I feel like that, you work with women and men, and I've supervised those before, so that's no problem for me because of my management skills and owning my own business and working in government before. I was a city judge. So by working in those, I've performed the different things, a lot of the different things. There's still a lot of things that you have to learn to take care of because it is a vast job. There is a number of different categories that you fill as the auditor for the county. But I feel like that I can meet that. And
David, and I'll lead you lead off with this question. What do you wish people understood about this office?
This is an amazingly important office. I really know a lot more about this office after deciding to run for it. I had more inclination, to run for commissioner and council before. And Rhonda was talking to me about this office, and then I started seeing the auditor is in council meetings, commissioner meetings, sees all the books, has a chance to look at all the numbers, receives bids on contracts. And the auditor is there, to make sure things are done on the up and up in the accounting, and can be a check and say, why are we doing this? You can ask a question, because you're in all the meetings and you see all the books and you see all the numbers. And I think it'd be a good place to be a check on how the spending goes in this county. Because the economy's not growing, but government is growing. And we need to get control of it.
Okay, Randall, what do you wish people understood about this office?
well, I think that a lot of the public doesn't realize the immense responsibilities of the person that runs the offices as the auditor. The auditor, as far as dictating what another office head is spending, really doesn't have any say in that other than what that budget is, what they're using out of that budget, okay? Because once the budget has been appropriated for them to use, they can use whatever amounts that they deem necessary in the different categories. Sometimes there's additional appropriations, so things are removed from one category to the other. But there's probably a lot of things, and more than I could go through, that are the responsibilities of the auditor. And it would be nice, I think, and probably if I'm elected, I think I'll try to publish that more on the internet and other ways for the public to know.
Claude, what do you wish the people understood about this office?
Well, it's a vast office, no doubt about it. The more people understand and know how much the workload is there, then I think they can be a little more understanding with the individuals that work in there. From an auditor standpoint, or any public official that has people working for them, you're only as good as those a lot of good people work for Washington County in a lot of different offices. And so sometimes you don't understand just how much they have to do. You think those people are just setting up there drawing a check. So the more you know about the work that has to come out of that office, I think the more you can appreciate what they get paid to do their job and be more appreciative toward the people. And as the auditor, or as a sheriff, or I don't care what position you have, it's the people who work for you that make you shine.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, without being negative, why are you better qualified than your opponent? Randall, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, I started off many years ago with Smith Cannon Childcraft, and I worked my way up in that company in supervising and managing different individuals. Went on and had my own business operation, and then that went on from that to running for council, of course, and being part of developing the budget. So with those different aspects, I've worked with budget, I've worked with people, supervising and managing those in the office. And so none of this is new to me as far as things that have to be done in order to run the office as auditor. And I've had the trust of the public and being elected to fulfill some of these public offices. I really appreciate that, and I hope that I can be your auditor.
Claude?
Well, after high school and service, a year in Vietnam, I started my public service locally. I spent 16 years managing budget at Campbellsburg. Now, I'm not, don't add these numbers up, get my age here, because some of it's been the same time. I was 12 years on the Brown Vernon Fire District, 4 years I was as a West Washington School Board member, and 16 years as county sheriff, during which those times I handled massive budgets, large budgets. And I'm proud to say that when I went on the school board, our school teachers were working on a 2-year-old contract. We settled that budget that same summer. We settled that budget and got them on a current contract and kept them on a current contract the whole time I was there. So I'm a people person and a public servant, and I know in order to be a public servant, you've got to serve the public.
David, why are you better qualified than your opponents?
Well, I've got a degree in mathematics, a bachelor's from IUS. I have a master's degree in statistics from the University of Kentucky. I have a degree in industrial engineering and management sciences from Northwestern, and I think I would be the best qualified to look at the numbers and keep the books and do research into the laws and look at how we're spending the money and keep a track on it. I'm not going to be from the party that controls the commissioners or the council because I'm a libertarian, so I won't be beholden to any party. I can be a check on what they do, and I'm not beholden to people for signs. I'm not going to be letting any contracts or hiring relatives. I think I'll be the most independent, most qualified person to keep track of what's going on in the county.
Okay, gentlemen, next question. What changes will you make in the auditor's office? Claude, you can lead us off.
Well, first of all, I do business with the auditor's office quite regularly, and I think it's pretty up to date on computer equipment and technology as far as that's concerned. I think probably the single biggest thing, and that is with me comes a great atmosphere when you come through the doors. If you're going to come into our office, we're public service, we're going to greet you, we're going to take care of you. I think probably one thing that's lacking in our county is the communication between all the leadership. And I think that if the leaders don't communicate, then the organization can't be as good as it is. And the county auditor's office is the heartbeat of the communications. So that will be fixed if I'm the auditor.
Randall, what changes will you make?
Well, I think that as an auditor for the county, it's really important that you work with your staff, that you're open to their suggestions and to the suggestions of the public. We're working for the public. I want to make sure the staff is there to answer questions, to find out answers if we don't know the questions. There's a lot of things that people do contact the auditor's office, I'm aware of, because I hear this quite a bit on different problems that they have that really doesn't involve the auditor's office maybe per se, but it maybe involves the highway department or some of the other departments in the courthouse and in our county government. And so they've relayed that information many times on to those, and I think this is important. This is helping. This is customer service. So I want to be open to that. As far as the technology there, we just installed new technology, so we're set.
Okay. David, what changes would you make?
Well, as far as personnel, I would lean on the personnel we've got. They have expertise. I'd be a new person. I'd have to lean on them quite a lot. I wouldn't expect to make any changes to that. I don't have any criticism of how the office is being run. I know they have some new software, so I wouldn't expect to be changing that soon. As a libertarian, my emphasis is on completely open, transparent government. I would make sure that we would lean toward issuing any public document as easily and quickly as possible and not trying to keep stuff from people. And as a secretary to the council and commissioners, I would make sure that there's no business being conducted in executive sessions. It's not supposed to be, that those would be limited to those very specific things that are allowed for executive sessions so that public business would be done in the public.
Okay. All right. Last question. Describe how you'll work with the public. And Randall, we'll let you lead off the final question.
Okay. Well, I've been a public servant for some time, and I've been able to communicate with different people, find out what problems are going on, take care of those, and get back with the different citizens on those problems. I think that I don't have a problem that way. I'm more than willing to go the effort that it takes and the extra time that it may take in order to solve problems people have and get their questions answered. Working with the public is a thing that goes on not only during your work hours, but after work hours. And my door will be open to the public to help them in any way I can. These are just, basic things that I feel like you need to be there. You need to have a good staff to work with them and get things done in a timely manner. There's a lot of...
You guys can't finish this sentence, I'm not with
Your reputation's got it scared, Nancy. That's what it is, girl.
I have nothing to throw.
After the other night when they put that up,
We're done, man. He's scared. You scared him.
David, we're done.
David, describe how you work with the public.
Oh, my turn?
Yes, David.
Yes, I want to be open like these guys have said about open to the public and cooperating at the office. I would also like, in the federal government they have the Congressional Budget Office that helps analyze and digest things and puts out statistics and helps people understand the debt and the budget a little better. And I think the auditor is in the perfect position to be able to take, what you see in the paper, how things are this. It's hard to look at the budget and understand where the money's really going. You see line items, and you don't know what goes into that line item. And I would like to use the auditor's office to maybe create, go more in-depth and create pie charts and graphs and histograms that can be shared with the paper to give people a better idea of where their tax money is going and where the fat in the budget is.
Okay. Claude, how about you? Describe how you'll work with the public.
Well, same way I have for years. My door is never shut unless there's a private conversation going on with the public now. And that's where the auditor's office will be. You want to come in and talk to me, come in and talk to me. We'll be friendly and open and do the job for you. Probably no one is more accessible to the public than I am after hours. I go to ball games and social events in this county from one end to the other and have for the last 40 plus years, and I'm not one of these that won't talk to you about business when I'm out there. So if you see me anytime, any place, you're more than welcome to talk to me about the weather or about some problem you've got. And that's the way I've been all my life, and that's the way this office will be run too, if I get it.
Okay. Any questions come forward? No?
I don't see it.
All right, with that, I thank you candidates.
Thank you.
I think I see two people here from the school board from the different areas, so Teresa, you still here? We're going to give you